Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Now remember, this isn't some sort of fan channel, this is a technical channel where we actually talk about football and show you the ins and outs and try to either make you become a better coach or a better player by learning some inside technical information using my over 20 plus years of coaching experience. Now, I normally don't sort of cover incidences in the game, but I'm feeling like I'm more and more having to, because at the beginning of the season, I can't remember the player, but it was Liverpool against Spurs, and everyone was raging about a red card when it was a similar incident to this, and why I'm flagging this is just because of the inconsistencies. I was doing a couple of videos in the last couple of weeks about the goalkeepers, coming out, clearing out players. Now all of a sudden they're penalties, which quite rightly they should have been. But the inconsistency was at the beginning of the season when United did it against Wolves. Wolves didn't get a penalty. So now all those rules at the start of the season don't count in the midway of the season. Same again, which we can see with this red card. It isn't a red card, but it would have been at the beginning of the season because it has been. And it isn't just the I know it was the Spurs Liverpool game I can remember, but around that week there was like 2 or 3 more incidents that were very similar, and that's the problem with the inconsistencies. People don't care whether, if it's one way or the other. They just want it to be the same for everybody. So people can't moan and say, "Oh, but you're cheating because you're biased against us." And that's clearly what what people are looking for. That's clearly a red card. The ball's nowhere near. His studs are on him. He's looking at what he's doing. His eyes aren't tracking with the ball. He's not following the ball. He's looking straight at what he's doing. But there we go. Let's get on to the goals. I'm going to have to stop this in a couple of little segments because YouTube copyright nonsense for the Premier League. Now, I want you to watch how this defender clears the ball, because he's clearing the ball. I don't believe he's looking to ping this pass out. And the reason why I say that is because of the way his technique is of actually hitting the ball. And what I mean by that is if you watch his feet when he hits it, they both come off the ground because he's looking for an impact. And when you're expecting someone to crash into you or there's an impact, you take both feet off the ground so you don't have a standing foot, so you don't have your legs snapped or any sort of any problems. Watch, Bosch. Do you see his little skip there at the end? That little skip is he's waiting for an impact. So I think he's just gone and hit and cleared this ball, hit and hoped, knocked it forward, and he hasn't really picked the player out. And I might be taking away a bit of credit from him, but I've seen too many. I know exactly what he's doing because I've seen it too much. He's hit that way, and then we've got this situation here where we're looking at playing a little first-time pass, and off we go. Now, there's a couple of times, if I'm doing coaching, running a coaching course, I'm going to tell you the problem with playing the ball first time. And the problem with playing the ball first time is you basically telegraph every single place you're going to pass the ball, because you can only play it normally in one direction because that's the way you're facing and you've only got one choice. So when you take a touch, you slow the player down trying to win the ball from you, and that way it makes it harder for them to know where you're playing the ball. If you're playing it first time, they can normally just read it. Now there's also a caveat there. It's normally on the third pass. So what happens is the first pass is first time, the second one, and by the time it gets to the third player, they're done. Okay, so as this ball comes in here first time, Bosch, he knocks it on. He plays it first time and he's finishing it. This keeper should know straight away that this ball's coming in here first time, because look at the body shape. He should be able to tell straight away. Bosch, he should be able to know. He sees exactly where he's going and exactly what he's trying to do to finish this pass in here, Bosch. And he side foots it in past the keeper. I think the keeper should have done so much better there. It's not a great finish. It's not a bad finish because he does keep it low and passes it into the corner. But the keeper should know exactly from his body shape. He can't go across the keeper into this corner here. It's almost impossible for that finish to work. So the keeper knows where he's going, and yet he still lets the ball go into the net box. Not good enough. Let's get on to the next goal. And the reason, before we get on to the next goal, like I always do, I pull it back and show you something that I really want. I'm not really going to start breaking down the defence on this, because I'll be here for 9-10 weeks, because look how open they are and look how much space there is for these strikers. I just can't do it because these defenders are so bad. There's no one near any of them, so I'll be here for days tearing these guys apart. So that's why I'm just going to get on to the next goal. It's interesting. The last goal was caused by a random ball. It was random. He was clearing it. And this is another random ball knocked up forward for something to happen. Now, I do like this Darwin Núñez-y guy here because he's just chaos incarnate on the field. You don't know what he's going to do. He's going to miss at least 4 goals on the line, be offside, and then score a bicycle kick from his own 18-yard box. He's that sort of player. And he is one of those you either love him or you hate him. I just think he's amazingly fun to watch because you never know when he's going to get sent off. You never know what dumb thing he's going to do, and that's why I enjoy watching the guy play football. Right, so as bounces here, first off, he should have been controlling that. He's let the ball bounce. It's all over the place. Bonk. Oh, it's bounced up again. Now he's managed to foul the player here. Well, it's not really a foul, but the defender is over jumped. So he's out off balance. So he is kind of pushed. And it's kind of a foul. Normally in the Premier League, this is what I go about consistency of rules. That is a foul. They're given that all day on the defender, for the defender. And then they're just stopping the play right there. Doesn't happen. They carry on. Even Núñez is shocked about it, but he still manages to fall over. Not only does he, God, I don't know. He's just hilarious to me. The ball ends up going out wide. I'm going to show you this finish from a really interesting angle, though, because I want you to understand and learn this. Because if you can understand and learn this finish, it's used a lot in indoor. Jota does it. Well, when we get to it, we'll talk about it. There's the little slot through, and there's the finish. Now I'm going to show you this finish from a different angle because I want to talk about it quite. Okay, this is the angle I want to show you as he's going to strike this. Okay, if you're doing indoor, and I used to play with a lot of professional indoor players that used to swear by just using their toe, and the reason they used to use their toe when they're this close to the goal is because they were not prolific at striking the ball cleanly with their laces and keeping it in a straight line. And you'll say, well, that sounds stupid, Cash. Well, they're professional players. Yeah, I know. But if they're normally, when they're running with the ball, running and hitting the ball first time like this, a lot of them will end up hitting it just slightly with their outside of their foot and putting bend and curl on it, and it'll curl away from the direction they want. So they ended up just hitting it with their toe and pointing it dead straight. Diego Jota's not doing that. He does use, watch this, Bush. He just does slot it with his laces, but he slots it perfectly straight and perfectly right into the corner with lots and lots of power. Now the thing is, when you're using your toe, you get the same amount of power and it does go straight in that tight distance, and a lot of people do that. And it's honestly, if you can understand the difference of those types of shots, or you're good enough to finish that hard, keep it in a straight line with your laces. Remember, it's on the ground. He's not lifting it. That's the other thing. If you strike it with your laces normally, it's going to start to come off the ground, and it's going to put it up to the height for the keeper to save it. The key there is he's hit it really hard with his laces, and he's kept it on the ground. And that's what I'm talking about when these indoor players are telling me to use your toe, and they do it all the time, because it keeps the ball on the ground. It's very hard to get lift with your toe when you're doing it. It's a similar type of finish. What I mean for similar type of finish, the ball is making the same movement, and that's what we're looking for here. The ball making the same movement. However you make that movement, whichever you end up striking it, because of your technical, deficiencies or what you're really good at, that's what you're really looking for there. The ball movement is on the ground, and it's really, really hard, and it's dead straight in the corner. Good finish. Let's get on to the next goal. Now, there's a ball coming in from the outside here. Now I'm going to have to have a go. The problem is I don't really want to start going on these defenders because we're going to be here all day. But I'm going to show you there's a guy in the 18-yard box completely unmarked. Yeah, okay, the ball's drifted across and it's come across from the other wing. Fine. But that's not my main issue. This is my main issue. You've got 2 people challenging for the ball. You're on, if I tell anybody that's listening, okay, 15 grand a week and you've just got to take up a couple of balls in the face once a year, you're probably going to go, okay, I'll do that, take that job, 15 grand a week. Both of these 2 players caused this goal to happen because both of these 2 players turn and duck away from the original shot. And by the way, the original shot is absolutely rubbish. Let's watch Bush. They both turn their backs. He spoons the ball up in the air, doesn't know where it's gone. Neither do they, because they've both turned their backs and flinched away because they're cowards. And he gets a second bite and he finishes it second time around. If you are a defender in the Premier League and you're turning your back against a shot, you are rubbish and I'd kick you off my team in 10 seconds. You're a man. Act like it. Take the ball in the stomach, take it in the face, keep yourself a goal, from them not scoring a goal. Neither of them do. It's not worth talking about them any more than that because they're terrible. Here we are, we're getting on to the last goal here. But again, it's just poor. You're 1v1 defending there. You've got another defender there. The ball's coming in here. And it's a terrible finish, but they all count. Actually, we'll show you the finish in a second. When this ball comes in, though, as it drifts in here, this defender's got to be doing better and keeping him on the outside and keeping him stronger. He's let this guy get in between him and the goal and get goal side. So if the ball's quality, he can just finish it. And he keeps it on the ground and he tucks it past where the keeper's come from, gives the keeper no chance. But there is no way that those two defenders there should be letting that happen. They've got all the time in the world, seeing that ball come in, seeing how to deal with it. The striker starts behind them and he lets them bully themselves in front of them. That is terrible defending. I know that they were 3-0 down at the time and they've probably given up, but that is not good enough. You do not give up in the last minute. You play just as hard as you would in the first minute. That's what makes winners. Losers quit in the last minute. You might as well quit in the first minute. Don't show up for my team if you're like that. But other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Yells at Idiots in the Premier League. Talk football.